600. That's how many jobs Indian students are applying to in the US to get 5 to 6 interview calls and maybe one final job offer in the hand. So 600, 5 to 6 interviews, one job offer. Those are your odds if you are planning to do job hunt in the US. Obviously, job market is insanely tough. Now, I have friends in some of the big tech companies who are now directors and they hire their own team. So I talked to some of these people at big tech companies, PayPal, etc., Salesforce, and I talked about them, how they are hiring, what are they noticing in the job market, how are company policies different from previous years, and some of the insider tips that can probably help you in standing out in this competition. So I got some very pointed feedback and concrete information that I think you guys need to know if you're planning to study or do a job hunt in the US anytime soon. So what's going on in those hiring offices? What are hiring managers thinking and doing? All this on the other side of the intro. Keep watching. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Nishtha from Scholar Strategy, and today we are talking about job market in the US. Now, if an average tech job gets posted on LinkedIn, it's attracting almost 590 applications in the first 48 hours. Another shocking stat is FANG replacement hiring is down by 46% as compared to 2021. What that means is if somebody leaves a job in a FANG company, they are now filling only 46% less of those seats than they did in 2021. So even if somebody is leaving the team, they are not hiring a replacement, they are just redistributing the work. So this is what is happening in the job market, and do remember that you're not only competing with your classmates, you're competing also with these professionals who have gotten freshly laid off from all these companies, right? So today I want to talk about the real odds of landing a job in the US, especially if you're an international student or an early career professional there. So what situation you're going to face and how to stay on top of those things. So I want to cover 3 things today. Number 1 is insider feedback from hiring managers. Number 2 is how can you beat some of these odds. And number 3 is some of the real stories, job hunt stories from our client. So let's get started. So let's start with the first point, which is the insider feedback that I've received from these directors and hiring managers in FANG companies like Amazon and also PayPal, Salesforce, etc. This is what these directors or employers are saying. The first thing they told me is that job supply is actually scarce. So every time a team needs to hire somebody, they have to go through multiple levels of approval, and they are getting approvals only for very, very limited positions. So very few roles are actually getting posted. Secondly, they said that there is big uncertainty everywhere. Even big projects are getting cancelled last minute. For example, Amazon cancelled some AI initiatives. Google paused hiring in Q1 this year. So priorities are shifting overnight and companies are more focused on profitability and cost cutting. So hiring people in all these teams, they don't even know that this project is going to last or not. Should they hire all the resources they need? So obviously it's very hard to hire in such an environment. Thirdly, they said that internal referrals rule. The first preference is always to fill that position with somebody internal in the company. Then they will go for external referrals. That is, if an employee refers somebody outside the organization, they are likely to prefer that. Only if they can't fill the position that way, then the job gets posted externally. Fourth point they mentioned is there is extreme resume overload. There are just too many resumes for every opening, and point is everybody is using these AI tools, so every resume is kind of already optimized for ATS, right? So there is a lot of news, so it's not just good enough to create a ATS optimized resume nowadays. Everybody is doing it, and in fact if you are not, then you're already dead because your resume is going to get so lost in all this noise. So the point is that like just having a hyper optimized resume is also not enough nowadays. How do you stand out from everybody is if a employee or if somebody trusted is taking your resume to the hiring manager, that is when you have the best shot. Fifth point they mentioned is GPA actually doesn't matter as much. Most US tech companies don't care about your GPA unless it's extremely low. What matters is how you talk about your work, your impact, your skills, what's your story. So a Glassdoor survey found that over 70% of the recruiters, they are prioritizing project experience and communication skills over your academic scores. So focus on good and relevant projects, especially using latest technology. For example, don't just build chatbots, build a GPT powered assistant or AI agent for recruiters or students. When the tech landscape is changing so fast, you have to talk about technology that is relevant in 2025, not 2023. Lastly, they said that sponsorships are rare. I mean, Trump is not making it easy for companies to hire international talent, but they will sponsor you, but you have to be truly worth fighting for. And it not only means that your profile has to be super competitive, but also that it is focused, coherent, and they can justify sponsoring you. So for example, if your work history is all over, you have been switching fields left and right, companies would be wary of you. So let's say you are a mechanical engineering student from college, but then you worked as IT analyst in the industry. Now you are back to doing a master's in robotics. It will be hard for the company to sponsor a visa for you. That is the harsh truth in 2025. However, let me close this section with some positive news. The good news is that you cost less than a seasoned employee. Companies are trying to cut costs, especially in middle management layer. So as a new grad or early career professional, you're actually more attractive for entry level roles, but only if you can show them that you are ready to deliver from day one. I think I agree with a lot of those insider things that these hiring managers have shared with me. Now let's talk about, given this reality, how can you beat the odds? What can you do to stand out? So firstly, understand the game and play it well. For example, like we know that job roles often go live on Tuesday to Thursday mornings in the US time zone. So turn on your job alerts, apply early, like apply within 6 hours of that job getting posted. This itself can increase your chances or recruiter views by 4 times. Secondly, focus on niche more than the brand. So many FAANG companies are not recruiting as much. So focus on niche companies, because for example, a mid-tier fintech company with a Python data stack actually might be hiring 20 developers, whereas FAANG is still deciding. So the point is, if you time it well and if you pick your niche properly, then your odds are already improved from 600 to 1 to maybe 100 competitors to 1 just by your good timing and niche focus. So please try to do that. Secondly, network smartly. I mean, the way you reach out to other people, the way you build relationship is going to matter a lot, because we saw that just hyper optimized resume is not cutting it anymore. So cultivate connections who can vouch for you or refer you internally. यहाँ पे थोड़ा जुगाड़ भी काम आता है. So don't be shy to ask for help from your seniors, even from college seniors in India if they are in US, right? And this is why I talk about networking so much in the internship and job hunt masterclass, because it is just inevitable. You cannot ignore it. Thirdly, you are not going to get a job if you are just applying online and not talking to people. You have to be visible. Attend meetups, career fairs, alumni events. Be out there both online and offline. Then here's a quick hack, right? Befriend the recruiters. Every quarter, companies are laying off a lot of recruiters as well. And these laid off recruiters turn to freelancing. So if you can just buy a $50 or $100 resume service from one of these recruiters and cultivate that relationship, I think that can give you a massive ROI as well. So try some of those hacks out. And lastly, telling your story is very important. You have to practice talking about your work. What problems did you solve? What impact did you make? This is what interviewers care about. And the harsh truth is that Indian students simply suck at this. So here's a practice hack, record yourself the popular job interview question and answers. Record yourself, auto transcribe with a tool like Whisper, paste it into ChatGPT and ask it to flag the filler words or weak examples, etc. So it can give you a very good review or critique of your answers free of cost, right? So again, practicing interview questions, what frameworks, etc. to use is something we talk about extensively in the internship and job hunt masterclass. This brings me to the last part of this video, where I want to share some real stories from our clients, and these are in fact the best news I've heard this season. So a deserving student I know and worked with in the internship and job hunt masterclass, she created her own opportunity at an early stage startup. The company did not even know how to file H-1Bs, and because she was applying for very niche kind of design roles, so this company is a boutique small firm, they did not know much about H-1B. but she convinced them, and she like explained to them how the process works, how she can help them in figuring things out, and they decided to file the petition for her. And today she has a 6-figure job, and also her H1B has been picked in 2025 lottery. She was in a very anxious state last year, so I'm so happy to see that, like, you know, she has finally gotten her dream job offer, and also her H1B is here now. Another news came from a MIMS student at Berkeley who was very specific about what he wanted, and he wanted to get into quant roles in hedge funds. Now, he was not getting the right opportunity, so he had figured out a backup option for his summer. So he had talked to a professor at Berkeley, and he was going to do a research kind of work in the summer, but he still kept applying for the summer roles. Glad to announce that he finally has a summer internship as a quant data scientist with Chicago Mercantile Group in their FX team. Needless to say, this is insanely tough to get, so I'm so happy for him. My overall point is, yes, hard work and persistence actually pay off. You have to try and you have to take your shots, right? And this is why, if you need a little support in your job hunt journey, then I'm here for you. Our internship and job hunt masterclass is running a special discount right now. I honestly believe in our strategies. I honestly think that if you put in all the work and try it genuinely, then you will create some sort of opportunities for yourself. So check it out. I'm leaving the link in the description box below. Remember, the odds are not 600 to 1 against you. They are 600 to 1 against anyone who looks identical on paper. You have to differentiate yourself by targeting the right roles, building connections, and creating interview stories that are genuine, compelling, and convincing. And suddenly those odds are like maybe 10 to 1, right? So I hope this video boosts your confidence and it motivates you to get into your go-getter killer attitude mode right now. And I'm sure you will create some wonderful opportunities for yourself. Remember, I am like 1000% cheering for you. So hit that like button if you found this video useful. Hit subscribe for weekly tips and study abroad updates from my side. And thank you so much again for being here with us. I am going to see you guys next week with a fresh new video. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.